Hello, darlings. All right, I have a question for you. When is it your turn? When do you take time for yourself? When do you do something that you want to do instead of your spouse or your kids or your boss or your mom or your best friend? It doesn't matter who it is that is absolutely pulling on you, that is requiring your attention and efforts. At some point, it needs to be you. You matter. You need to be following your joy. You need to be doing what lights you up inside. Not running kids around, not taking care of sick parents, there are so many things that we busy ourselves with that pull us out of our joy, that pull us out of where we should be seeking fulfillment. I'm just going to say it. And this is one of those where I know that there are a lot of people who disagree with me on this. But shoving our kids into sports as soon as they can walk and then putting more and more and more and more pressure on them by putting them in competitive sports, by putting them in multiple sports, by giving them a private lessons, a coach, a tutor, all of these different things. Whatever we're doing to make that child excel just adds more things to your plate. Your plate that you already have way too fucking many things going on. Your kids will live just being kids. Gen X, we lived just being kids. Sure, there were some who played Little League and things like that. But I've talked to enough of them to know that they had a game a week for 6 weeks and maybe a few practices. It was not this fucking 2 or 3 practices a week plus tournaments plus this plus that. Okay, this overcomplicating sports for our kids has been a product of the last 20 years. Okay? And I think it's kind of that everybody found their niche. Oh yeah, no, I'm a coach. Oh yeah, no, I'm going to open a new league so that we can only get the creme de la creme in here. All of this stuff is a product of the last 20, 30 years. And it's all about greed. It really is. Kids sports no longer are about kids going and having fun playing a sport. Kids sports are all about fucking money. And so when you get all tied up in running your kids around, what are you doing for you? When's the last time you went on vacation? When's the last time you took a day to go do what you wanted? What do you like to do? When I first sat down with a therapist after I figured out that I had lost myself completely in the marriage to my ex-husband. When I sat down with the therapist, she goes, what do you like? What do you like to do? And I'm like, I love the symphony and I love art fairs and I love art shows and going and seeing live music and theater and things like that. And she's like, well, when's the last time you had done it? And I sat down and I honestly could not remember having done anything that I wanted to do and liked doing for me, even if it was just by myself, for 10 plus years. Now, I was living that life of running kids around and running this and PTO mom and working a full-time job and you know, so I was living that life. Kids are older. They're no longer playing sports. I just got to tell you that my son had a lot more pressure on him when he was in sports than he does without that in his life. Like, it stressed him out. It made him feel inferior if he did not perform the way he was expected to when he went up to bat. He was expected to crush it. He was expected to hit home runs. He was, you know, and so that bar was always so high that he was always freaked out to make sure that he did, you know, that he performed. And not having that stress in his life, he's just like, yeah, I'm fine. Sure, he'll go play every once in a while, but not in a competitive situation like that. That's my question to you. What are you doing for you? When's it your turn? You're the one signing those kids up for all of those activities. You're the one who says yes every time someone says, hey, can you help with this? You're the one in control of this. When are you going to step up for yourself? You do you. You love you. Love yourself enough to do what makes your heart happy, what makes you feel joy. Because that is why we're here. We are supposed to be finding joy and chasing our joy and trying to live a life that we want to live. And just carting everybody around and being stressed all freaking day, every day. It's not finding your joy. That's it. Just had to pose that question. When is it your turn? Talking to you. I am talking to you. When's it your turn? When are you going to do something for you? All right. Love you guys.